Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Cooking with Chow. It's your girl Cece. So today we're gonna be making dinner in less than 30 minutes. A vegan kimchi stew or a kimchi jjigae, also with a tofu side dish. This is one of my favorite meals of all time. I probably make this at least once a week. And also in honor of Earth Day. We love our earth. So I'm trying to be more environmentally conscious in the way I eat and in the way I shop. So I am trying to incorporate more plant-based diets into my regular routine. So that's what we're making today. Let's get started. So a misconception typically with vegan food is that sometimes it's missing that, that oomph of flavor, that kind of meatiness that you kind of get. And that's why I know a lot of people don't really eat a lot of vegan food. But today, trust me when I say, okay, we are going to be making an amazing, delicious kimchi soup that is packed full of flavor. So in terms of flavor, what are we talking about? What is that fifth element that is missing? Ladies and gentlemen, that is umami. So I know I talk about umami all the time, but you guys are like, what the heck is umami, Christina? Please tell me what it is. Okay, well, let me educate you today. So umami essentially is a taste of glutamate, which essentially is an amino acid that is one of the building blocks of protein. And it's actually very common in a lot of food that we have. Most commonly it's in proteins such as like meat, fish, but it's also, fun fact, in breast milk, which is why maybe we love the taste of umami, right? And there we have the fifth element, umami. What are we gonna do today to add that umami flavor in? Let me tell you. We are going to add some mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms. We're also gonna add some enoki mushrooms. So shiitake is full of umami flavor. If you are ever wanting to know kind of the best mushrooms to get in order to achieve that umami flavor, all you need to know is that the darker the color, the more rich in umami it will be, okay? And then we're also going to add in some fermented soybeans, so some miso paste, fermented soybean, and any sort of fermented ingredients or foods typically have a lot of umami flavor. So it pairs very nicely with also the kimchi that we'll be using today, as well as some soy sauce. Okay, so let's get started. We're gonna start with our induction stove. Me and my little cute honey, we have become very good friends in the last couple episodes. Turn this bad boy on, or bad gal. I'm using my favorite Dutch oven. If you guys don't have a Dutch oven, you guys need to get one. It's life-changing, okay? We're gonna get our Dutch oven going, add some oil, about 1 tablespoon of oil. Next, we're going to add in our aromatics, some onion, some garlic, the good stuff. Gonna mix it so that the garlic doesn't burn. Oh, it smells so good. We're just going to saute it for a couple minutes. Kimchi is honestly one of the most versatile items you could ever use. You can stew it, you can fry it, you can make a pancake out of it, you can make a kimchi grilled cheese out of it. So good. We're gonna add our daikon. I like to add daikon in because it provides kind of a nice bitterness to it to help kind of just complement everything else in it. That's looking really good. Add in our kimchi. So I made homemade kimchi. This is my vegan version of kimchi. Typically in normal kimchi that is not vegan, I will put fish in it. So just like salted fish. So if you guys want to see how I make vegan kimchi, comment that down below. Don't worry, a regular kimchi video, I don't know why I'm doing that. A regular kimchi video is coming shortly to you. I just like to kind of, make sure everything is covered. This is not enough kimchi, so I'm gonna grab a bit more. Gonna add a little bit more kimchi. See, I even date my kimchi. So I know exactly when I made it. Kimchi lasts so long in the fridge, probably like up to like, I don't know, 6 months or so. But don't quote me on that, okay? smells so good. Once that kimchi starts to cook, what we're going to add next is some miso, spicy miso paste. So I've tested and tried so many different recipes. When I originally first made vegan kimchi stew, it was missing that umami-ness, you know, that flavor in there. And so I was thinking about it and I'm like, why not add fermented soybean? So after I've done this, it's changed my kimchi game, okay? Let me tell you. We're also going to add in some gochujang. Gochujang is a Korean fermented red chili paste. It adds amazing depth of flavor. I absolutely love this. So we are going to add in a big scoop of it in. This is very spicy, so if you can't eat, you know, too much spice, I probably wouldn't recommend putting this much in. Probably like a little bit of, maybe half, you know, do a little taste test. We're also going to add in some gochujang. So gochujang is pretty much the exact same thing as gochujang, except it is the powder form of it. So it's not as potent as the gochujang. That's looking really, really good. Can you guys smell that from there? Oh no, what did I do? Oh, never mind, we're good, we're good, we're good. I figured it out. Okay, now that we've sauteed it for a couple minutes, so next we're going to add in some shiitake mushrooms. So shiitake mushrooms are typically dehydrated and sold in a packaged form. So what I do is I just grab a couple and then I'll add in some hot water and I'll let them sit for about probably like an hour, and then I just slice them up and they're ready to go. Next, we're going to add in just a little bit of brown sugar, probably about a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of some brown sugar. So now that we have our aromatics in here, we have our radish, we have shiitake, we have kimchi, we have that gochujang, and a little bit of some brown sugar, we're gonna add our water in. So the rule of thumb that I like to do when making adding in water is just to add just enough to just cover everything in there, and then that's perfect. And then as it cooks, you can taste it, and if it's, you know, a little too flavorful, you can add more water, and it's really up to you. Because I just hate it all the time, you know, when you're making recipes and they're like, okay, like add in specifically 6 cups of water, right? But when you're cooking, you know, for like larger amounts or smaller amounts, you can't really go by that. So I think that this is a good rule of thumb that I would definitely highly recommend. Save it in your little tip box by CC, okay? We're going to pop the lid on top and we're going to let it simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes. All right, we're gonna slide it to the side. Okay. Okay, so while we let our kimchi stew just kind of chill out and cook for a couple minutes, we are going to start on our tofu side dish. This is by far one of my favorite appetizers to ever make when people come over or just, you know, when I eat it. It is absolutely delicious, okay? We are going to be making crispy pan-fried tofu, and then we're gonna add a really nice garlic, soy sauce, sesame sauce all over it. It's perfection. What we're going to start with is some tofu, so some firm tofu, and I've just used some paper towel just to squeeze out most of the water. We want to kind of take out a lot of the moisture content from it so that it can fry really nicely and crispen to perfection. What we're going to do is grab some cornstarch and you're just going to pop it onto a plate. You're going to take your tofu that you've already squeezed out with some paper towel and you're just going to dip it gently and coat it on all of the sides. We're just going to continue doing it for the rest of them. So now that your tofu has been covered in that cornstarch, you're just going to set it aside. Going to get your burner going. Use a non-stick pan. I would highly recommend using a non-stick pan. I've tried it on a cast iron. As much as I love my cast iron, a non-stick pan has a great purpose. Get your pan going. We're gonna let it heat up. It's not hot enough yet. So let's start to fry. So we have our hot non-stick pan going. Going to add a drizzle of some oil. Once that oil glides really easily, you know your pan's ready to go. Grab your tofu, carefully add that in. We're going to pan fry it on each side, probably for about 5 to 7 minutes so that we get really nice crispiness. By adding that cornstarch in, our Tofu also kind of fluffens up a bit. It's similar to almost like if you were to deep fry it. So it has that same nice light texture. So it's been a couple minutes. We're just going to flip our tofu over. This is how I always flip it. My own trick. You just raise the tofu up, flip it on the corner, use your little finger, and flip it over. Let's talk about the dipping sauce for our tofu. What I like to do is we're going to add some soy sauce, some sesame oil, some minced garlic, and some chili flakes. And it's so, so good. Oh, also some sugar. First, we're going to mince our garlic. I like to add garlic in because it gives it extra bite when you're biting into it. It's so good. My favorite side dish. Next up, I'm gonna grab some soy sauce. We're gonna grab about probably 2 tablespoons of some soy sauce, a little bit of some sesame oil. We're going to add a little bit of some chili flakes, you know, for extra spice. And then we're going to add in some sugar just to help round it all off. Optional. A little bit of some water out of my favorite cup. We're gonna mix that together and then we're gonna set it on the side. Okay, so let's just check on our rice quickly. Oh, it's beautiful. Do you guys see that? So it is the iconic Korean, you know, purple rice that they serve typically at restaurants. If you want to achieve this at home, all you need is 1 cup of white rice and about 1 tablespoon of some black glutinous rice, and ta-da! Let's check out our tofu. Oh, see? It's perfect. It's golden brown. This is ready. And we're going to turn it off. Oh my goodness. It looks so beautiful. But let's just try it really quickly. Oh, it's good. A little bit spicy, but it's really good. A little bit more sugar. I like to just add in sugar to help kind of balance all of that sourness and umami flavor from everything else in there. You know, makes it more of a well-rounded soup. I'm going to add in a little bit of some vegetable stock in. And this is probably just about done. We want our daikon to be fork tender. Stick it. Oh. Yeah, it's just about there. So now that our soup is just about done, what I'm going to do is add in some enoki mushrooms. So we added in some enoki mushrooms in there. I absolutely love enoki mushrooms, but it cooks extremely fast, so we want to do it towards the end. And then we're going to add in just a little bit of some vermicelli, just to give it, you know, a little bit more chew. So we're just going to toss that in. And the vermicelli noodle cooks really, really quickly. It'll be ready in probably less than 5 minutes, I want to say. Probably like 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, our tofu is ready, so we're going to plate it. Tofu side dish is done. It looks absolutely delicious. You can see just how crispy that looks, and the tofu has kind of puffed up nicely. Add in our sauce. All I like to do is just drizzle it right on top. Fresh scallion. What we're going to do is finish it off with some sesame seeds. And ta-da! Going to add in just a couple pieces of some tofu, and we're ready to eat. Oh, that's spicy. I'm fine. Spice makes you feel alive. That's what my dad always says to me. This is ready. Let's plate. Oh, that looks so good. Finish it off with some scallion. Okay, everyone, and there you have it. Easy, delicious, vegan kimchi stew, as well as a side dish in less than 30 minutes. We're gonna try our soup first. So hearty. I'm gonna get a bit of daikon. I'm gonna get some shiitake. Oh, hot. It's comforting, it's warm, it's savory, very savory, but you have the notes of that spicy, that, you know, sourness from the kimchi Then you add a spoon of some warm rice, dip it in the soup. This is how you're supposed to eat it. That was so good. Because that shiitake mushroom is meaty, you can't actually tell that it's even a vegan dish. Like, it's actually very surprising because it's just packed full of flavor. It's so, so good. Moving on, my favorite side dish ever. Yo, this is so good. Y'all are blessed to have me in your life, okay? I'm just joking. For this tofu dish, you can taste the crispiness of the tofu. It's got that savoriness from the soy sauce, that sesame oil, and then you taste the bites of that garlic and that scallion just to give it extra oomph. Absolutely delicious. All together, this is a very, very well-rounded meal, something that I cook all the time, and I believe that you guys should also make it as well. Anyone that's ever had this loves it. Well, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Cooking with Chow. I hope you guys try this out at home. If you do, tag me at Cooking with Chow. As always, this week I will be posting the next poll as to what my video will be next week. So definitely follow me on Instagram at Cooking with Chow, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell because we will be dropping videos every Saturday, and we will see you guys shortly. Well, thanks for tuning in. Ciao for now.